So we're at the halfway mark, and I want to be mindful of your time. We're 30 minutes into the actual chat. I usually put some music and like filler intro stuff. But I did want to ask you. So when it comes to, oh yeah, that's right, relationships.
Yeah.
It's everything in this hobby, of course.
Yes. Yes.
How important is it when someone in the chat or in the hobby in general is nice to you? Like, do you think that helps
Mhm.
facilitate deals?
Yeah, I mean, just being a good person is just you just want to be around that person. You want to keep doing deals with them. Like if someone, it's just like even if you're hanging out in public or hanging out with a friend, if somebody's like negative or somebody you just it's the antithesis of that. You don't want to be around that, you know. But if somebody's positive and somebody, like we could be doing anything else in the world, but we're here looking at these pieces of paper inside these plastic cases. So if you like it as much as I do, and we can have a good time over it, I'd prefer that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so a lot of these buyers, you've never met them in person. I don't know if you've met some buyers in person, like, in your local area, but or like at shows. But do you so what someone presents to you in the chat, I mean, that's their persona to you, right? But these buyers, like they come into your room often. Like I'm not asking you to, like, shout them out or say their names, but like you do establish a rapport and a relationship with your streamer viewers and buyers,
Mhm.
shout
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember shout out to Knee House. I met Knee House one time.
out.
He's from Indiana, but he happened to be in Burbank on work, and then we met each other at the Burbank Card Show, the last one. And that
Nice.
was super cool. I see a bunch of people now at shows. Like I don't know their faces because most people in the hobby don't put their faces on their pictures. Like it's just
Yeah, I
their
used to
logo
not.
or it's just
Yeah.
their favorite card. But
Right.
they tell me, I say, hey, what's your username? I say, oh yeah, I know you. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a good little community, and it's kind of interesting now because it used to be like if somebody I didn't know came up to me and they said like, hey, I watch all your YouTube stuff. That's what it used to always be. I watch your YouTube stuff, and now it's like a three-way split between, hey, I watch all your YouTube stuff, or hey, I watch all your TikTok stuff, or hey, I watch all your whatnot streams. So it's
TikTok.
like the three like main platforms for me now, which is super interesting.
I did not know you had a presence on TikTok. My apologies. My research did not go that deep, I
No,
guess.
it's all good. It's the algorithm seems to be changing on TikTok, so
What is
it's
your handle on TikTok?
it's a talk_2_Keane.
Got it. I will give you a follow, and I will put that in the show notes so people can know that as well. So,
Appreciate you.
do you like creating content on TikTok? Because I feel like it's so different from YouTube because YouTube is so long form, and I love your vlogs and the day in the life. And Instagram, it gets
Yeah,
shorter because of the reels, but then TikTok, I feel like it's even shorter. So,
yeah.
I mean, do you like creating?
Yeah, I do. The algorithms kind of changed on TikTok where it's more long form videos that are working now.
Mm,
But the way that I create the content and again making things more efficient is that TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok videos, they all are essentially the same thing. So I can just
true.
post to three different platforms.
Yeah.
But that was working about 6 months ago. But again, the algorithm has changed, so I'm not really
Keeps
sure.
changing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how to adapt to it, or I haven't taken the time to figure it out. Um, but
I
yeah, I
feel like
love posting on TikTok.
I feel like creators only get this, but it's so frustrating to me when Instagram Reels is 90 seconds and I am like, I got the perfect 1 minute 30 seconds, perfect. And then I go to try to do the same thing for YouTube and it's like 60 seconds. You got to cut it. And I'm like, what am I supposed to cut? Like I got to cut it even shorter and like I'm
Yep.
just like TikTok what is it, like 5 seconds, but like you said now it's more long form, so that's good. Um no, that's awesome. So you got TikTok. I mean, how do you have? I mean, I was gonna say, how do you have time for all this? But this is your full time thing, and you're putting overtime.
Yeah.
You have been grinding, and yes, you haven't been doing it for like decades, but you have really established yourself like in these worlds, and people, like you said, like they just come up to you and just. Do people feel like they come up to you and like they know who you are just because you put your face out there so much?
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because like I have to. I'm not sure. Sometimes I'm not sure. I like people's energy, right? So they come and say, "Hey, what's up, man?" You know what I mean? And then I kind of reciprocate. Oh man, how you been? And I'm not sure. Like, wait, did I meet them? Did I meet them before, or did they just see me from the videos? And then anyway, that's funny. But that's one thing people always say is that when they meet me, it's like, "Oh, you're exactly like you are in the YouTube videos." But the
That's
YouTube
good.
videos I record for like 6 hours straight, and then I
Yeah.
cut the best parts out. I can't be fake for 6 hours straight, you know what I mean? Like, it's just that you know what I mean? So it's like, that's just the way it is, you know? So it's cool people feel like they know me, that, you know, that we relate, and it just makes it I'm a socially awkward person too, so you know what I mean? So it makes it
Oh
makes
my
it cooler
gosh.
when we can, like, hang out and just, like, talk like we've known each other for a while, so
You're the most socially adjusted, socially awkward person that I've ever met then. So are you going to national?
50-50 right now.
All right.
I'm in talks with, I was talking with, like, Whatnot, about, like, doing something out there, so I
Mhm.
don't know, but, you know, that talk hasn't gone too far. Um, I don't know, 50-50. I always say I'm gonna go, maybe next time I'll go, but maybe next time I'm gonna go, I don't know.
Whatnot. This man is giving you guys so much business. I mean, seriously. So I this might be a really good time for an Instagram follower question, and this question comes from Hobby S Thompson, which is my Instagram alt account, which I will very much admit. Here's the question, and I want to see what you do with it because we were just
That's what
talking
I
about
was saying, I was
whatnot.
like, There's actually an Instagram question?" It's just
Yeah.
it's just you? It's
Well,
you asking you to ask me?
I literally put it up 2 hours before our talk, and no one responded, and I'm like, "Oh, man, I gotta come up with something." So so here we go, and I put that up in Instagram, like, because 'cause I'm not trying to hide it. I only have one alt account, and that's that one. So here we go. Here's the question, because 'cause we're just talking about Whatnot. And then this will maybe get us into a little bit more discussion of Whatnot in, like, for the next 10 minutes.
Mhm,
Other than number of viewers in the room, what
mhm,
advantage does Whatnot give you as a singles streaming seller versus other platforms?
mhm.
Secondly, what could Whatnot do better to support sellers such as yourself?
That's a great question. Question number 1, the biggest thing that Whatnot provides is fast turnover on inventory. You know what I mean? You could just
Mhm,
hold the card up and then it moves to the next thing. And then, you know, whereas if you take that to you know, eBay, for example, that whole process is a lot longer. You know what I mean? Run an
mhm.
auction for 7 days as opposed to 30 seconds. Um,
Right.
You know what I mean? So, the fast turnover, that's the biggest thing. As far as what they can do to help, I mean, man, they're so awesome, and this is not just me just, like, saying that, but they're, like, because 'cause they're such a small company, you know what I mean? They can move and change, like, quickly, and if I tell them, "Hey, there's an issue with, like," you know, they ask for feedback and say, "Hey, you know, on this page, there's, like, this issue." The next day, it's done, you know what I mean? Whereas, like, it's fixed. Whereas on eBay, if you have that change, that might take, like, it's such a big company, that's like a 6-month process. That's like a
Mhm,
1-year process. So I think Whatnot is they listen to the streamers and the buyers so much, and they can adjust on the fly. Like that, you know, the year that I've been there, the app has changed so much and all for the better. You know what I mean? So, you know, not always for the better, but they can adjust quickly is my point. So as
mhm.
far as what can they do better, I don't know. I think they're doing everything they can to you know stay current with the times.
So for folks who are audio only, Keane is wearing a hat that has a big yellow W. He has a sweatshirt on that has a huge W. I'm just kidding. I think that's really great. But here's the thing, though, just to kind of probe a little bit more in that answer to the first question.
Yeah.
I think that the fast turnover on inventory does directly correlate with the number of viewers in the room, or
Right.
actually maybe the final sale price correlates with the number of viewers in the room because as we know, the more people you have in the room, more interest, more a card can sell for.
Yep.
But I mean, I guess I'm just trying to figure out like other selling platforms, right? I'll just say them because we're talking about Whatnot. You know, Drip, Card Shop Live. They have um, an auction platform where you can sell a card for 30 seconds. It may not go for the amount you want because you don't have the number of viewers.
Right.
So I guess my question is, you know, what is it specifically about Whatnot that gives it an advantage? Like I guess I'm asking you in a way, like what would prevent you or why wouldn't you want to go to another platform such as Drip or Cart Shop Live? And I'm sorry I forgot the other ones, Loop and all that stuff.
Yeah, I just think they have the biggest audience out of all of them, besides like eBay Live. You know, they just have the
Hmm.
biggest built-in audience, and I think that's a credit to them because for me, I don't know, I wasn't part of it, but from the beginning, they went for the after the influencers. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
they got Mojo on there super early. They got Card Collector 2 on there super early, and then
Right.
they pay. I'm sure they paid them out to partner with them. and then get their user base onto Whatnot with them, which is like super smart because like in
Mhm.
this day and age in 2020, 2023, like more consumers seems to be aligning with people rather than corporations. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Right.
So they'll follow the card collector twos, they'll follow the Roth cards, they'll follow the Mojos, wherever where they go. Whereas they won't, they won't follow the old format like they used to.
So I mean, again, I think maybe what I'm hearing from you is that is the number one and main and 1A, 1B, 1C, the main advantage that Whatnot has for someone such as yourself as a singles streaming seller is number of viewers and just audience,
User base,
user
uh,
base.
like, and then I've never really been on uh, the other apps, but
Mhm.
just how like seamless the UI is, the user interface is.
Okay.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
I think that's really big too. And if you, I won't name the names, but if you go on the other ones and just
yeah.
take a peek around, like you'll see what I'm talking, like what the difference is. You know what I mean? But,
Seamless
but,
user interface, that's good.
but first of all, I mean, like it is the buyer base because like I'm not gonna if I go onto another app and I see like 5 people in a room, I
Yeah.
only see 3 people live, and then like some of them have 15, and some of them, like I'm not gonna, what I mean? That's like going to a dead card show. Like yeah, it's time to go. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. So you with people being nice in your stream, I imagine because I remember this back when I have bought from you like a long time ago, but like you put up cards for $1, but when you do that, when you have an active, lively room that think cards are gonna sell for close to comps because you have the confidence that the room is gonna like just get it up there, right? I mean, so uh, can you talk to that a little bit, maybe like the room atmosphere and just kind of that?
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a certain amount of people to be able to run a card and expect it to get to that amount. Like, it's not going to be, one person, two, 3 people. If you have like 60, 70 people in there, it's
Hmm.
a lot better. But even then, like, it's all just hit or miss, right? Like, because sometimes I'll have the most popping room, but a card sells for 70, 30% under comps, and it
Mm,
sucks, right?
hmm.
But like, I don't look at it that way, like, because
Customer
you
acquisition, like you said earlier.
customer acquisition, but the biggest thing is, am I profitable in the long term?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll lose on one car, but am I profitable in the long term? You know what I mean? So, I like to harp on it a little bit and make fun, like, that sucks. Like, damn, man, how am I gonna keep the lights on? Like, oh shit, man.
yeah.
Like, damn, like, you know
Everyone
what I mean?
says
Like,
that. Yep.
yeah, how am I gonna keep the lights on? Like I said, we're eating ramen for the week. But
Yeah.
I'm working on being very sharp with my books and having my account, working with my accounting team and knowing how everything looks. So look, if I'm green and the bills are paid at the end of the month, like I don't care if if a card sold for 30% of comps.
Right.
Like,
So have you?
this
Yeah.
sucks, but a good example I use is three weeks ago. I had 3 cards that I spent $2,300 on,
Hmm.
and I sold them on eBay, and they ended totally at $1,300. So I lost
Wow.
$1,000. You know what I
On
mean?
eBay. Yeah.
On eBay, and I probably would have lost the same on Whatnot. But the point is, I lost $1,000, and it sucks. I learned my lesson. I know not to get those cards again, or to get them a lot cheaper. But B, I'm still green at the end of the month. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But that also, if I don't learn from that, and I don't say, okay, well, if I'm losing $1,000 every time I buy a card like that, that's a problem. But like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't harp on the L's too much. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole thing's got to be a giant W. So you're gonna have a bunch of little. No one wins. No one wins every single deal, every single transaction. Like, but when you're doing repetition and you're doing volume, those L's become so insignificant. You know what I mean?
A giant yellow W. I feel like this doesn't become a not a sponsorship or whatnot, but it's so funny that I've had you on because you are like such a successful, entertaining. That's the other thing is like you play music, you're rapping, you're engaging with the chat. The chat's engaging with you. It's like
Yeah.
positive. It's fun. Have you ever been pressured to put up like because you just brought up four-figure cards? Have you
Yeah.
ever been pressured to put up a four-figure card starting it at $1 by the chat
Yeah. All the time.
all the time? How do
Yeah.
you deal with that room pressure? Because in my earlier episode about my experiences in buying, selling, and trading on whatnot and in person and all that is
Yeah.
you want the room to feel inviting and
Mhm.
fun and all that, but you also get to control, right? You as the streamer, you get to control what's on the screen, what you set things at, what it ends, well, not what it ends at, but whether you put it up for auction or there is that option of, almost like a buy it now on eBay, like you put
Yeah.
it in the store in whatnot's stream in your stream, right? So when it comes to the pressure of the room, can you kind of like talk to me about it?
Yeah. I mean, so somebody said if they say, "Hey, run that $1,000 card at a dollar,"
Yeah.
I just say, "Hey, you go first."
You go
That's it.
first.
Like I don't, I'm gonna do it. It's just like that. But that also talks to the dynamic in the room and the kind of culture that gets created. Not that I try to create, but just from the different types of people that are in there. And I'm live a total of like 15, 16 hours a week, and you're in there with the
Hmm.
same few people. There's a
Yeah.
dynamic that you build. There's like you know what I mean. There's like a culture. The same way when you hang out, if you take a long enough road trip with your friends, or you hang out with your friends long enough, like you're gonna be inside jokes to get for them. So if I say that and like, hey, you go first, then the person that comes in there the first time, damn, this guy's kind of a jerk, but they don't understand that that's kind of like the rapport that we've built.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. And then sometimes I've seen it, I've experienced it. It's like when people want to support you and they don't even know you, right? I mean, they know your voice, or I guess for you, they know your face. But it's almost like you didn't ask anyone to have your back, but the chat almost has your back, right?
Yeah,
It's like when an outsider comes in and says something
yeah,
ridiculous, right?
yeah.
It's just
And I gotta
like,
I gotta calm them down sometimes.
yeah, right. You
The
because
chat,
they really get like rabid with their defense of you
their
because they
support, their
yeah,
loyalty, yeah. As the same way I would be with them if we were all hanging out in a room and somebody comes and just says something sideways. I'm like, hey, come on, like just chill.
right.
You know what I mean,
And,
but
and that is a
that's
ridiculous
also
thing.
building the rapport and
Yeah.
building the relationships.
Yeah, no, it's wild that in this day and age with social media, same thing too, right? I mean, there are things people say in chat or like on social media that you would never say to someone's face. It's just that it's the anonymity of the internet where you're just like saying wild things and people are just like, and that's that immediately escalates things. So,
Man,
um,
I could start a nice little book with some of the DMs I get. Like,
oh my gosh. Well, thank you for answering my DMs to be on this show. I know we have about 10 more minutes. I want to hit up a little bit. For every guest, I generally like to kind of get to know them. I know you talked about your origin story a little bit and starting in 2019, but I kind of wanted to probe a little bit more, just maybe not even for like the listeners' education or to learn from this, but more of like just to kind of humanize you some more. You mentioned culture, and I know we weren't talking about like culture from a like a Asian American or representation standpoint, but you're Asian American, I'm Asian American, and I think representation matters a lot, and to have you on means a lot to me, and so and for you to succeed, I love it. My Asian brother, like you're crushing it, absolutely crushing it. So I wanted to ask you, little Keane before you were big Keane, and like I know you said you're socially awkward and all that. I have a hard time believing that, but like when you were small, like like did you grow up in California? Like like I just want a little bit more from your origin story about like how you came to be and like how strongly do you carry like your Asian American identity?
mm, that's a great question. I was born in the Philippines, and then we came here when I was pretty young, and I've pretty much spent my whole life here in the Bay Area, California. And it's a very diverse culture here. There's a lot of just Asians and Chinese people, Vietnamese people, Filipino people here, and yeah, I mean, like I don't know, like how it's kind of a maybe I got to get out more, but like how proud you to carry. Of course, I'm very proud. But it's not something that is kind of like that stands out over here because it's such a diverse place over here. But again, it's like it's part of who I am in the chat and everything. It's like like there's times where we play like a we start. Okay, we're gonna start the stream. We're gonna play the national anthems. We start with the Filipino national anthem, and then we come with the American national anthem. So, very proud of it. You know what I mean? It's part of who I
That's
am.
So you are a big Manny Pacquiao fan then?
Absolutely, you have to be.
Absolutely. Do you
Yeah,
have his
but
cards?
I'm a big Floyd Mayweather fan too, though. So
Oh, are you? Okay,
yeah,
so do you PC his cards? Like, I don't even know if there are Manny Pacquiao cards out there.
many Pacquiao cards, like I said, because like there's a lot of Filipinos out here. They're kind of easy to find. They're just like Steph
Okay.
Curry cards out here. So I don't PC them because I could get. I feel like I could get a Manny Pacquiao auto card anytime over here. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I just love yeah, just love him and love love all that stuff.
No, that's wild to me. I really appreciate you sharing that because, here I am like thinking, I live in a pretty diverse area of the country as well. And I would not take it I don't I do not take it for granted. I'm not saying you are either, but it's almost like it's like baked in, right? I mean, it's like it's easier to stand out when you are like when you're in very undiverse, not diverse area
Mm,
of the country. Or again, we're talking about America, right? I mean, this is a podcast in America.
yeah.
Shout out to my Germany listener. And 15% from Canada. I don't know how many raw numbers that is, but 15% from Canada. But we're talking about America here, and you know, um, we live in very diverse areas where we don't stand out like sore thumbs
Right.
because we have our, many uh, Latinx, African American, Asian brothers and sisters all over the place, right? So,
Yeah.
no, I
It's
really
also
appreciate
also
that.
funny too because I remember one of the YouTube videos I was in one of the vlogs I was in the show, and then it just happened to be, and I realized after, like, I was just talking with a bunch of like, the room's full of like Filipinos, Asians, Vietnamese, because that's the community out here. A lot of the community
Hmm.
out here for car collecting. And one of
Hmm.
the comments said like, "Wait, this is in America?" I was like laughing. I was like, "Oh yeah, there is a lot of just like Asians and Filipinos in that room." But that's the Bay
Last
car collecting community for you.
last few minutes, I gotta talk about the food because I
Okay.
I've been to probably not, yeah, I've been to the Bay Area. I just haven't been to like say like Sacramento, North California, but I've been to LA, I've been to San Francisco, and the food is just unreal. And
Yeah.
you do the phrase, the word mukbang is actually a Korean word for like eating room. It's like
Mm,
it's almost like you watch other people eat, which is
yeah.
again, it's the internet. People, it's crazy, but you put in your vlogs, you sharing your food and like eating it, and like I mean, some of the food you eat, I'm just like, oh, that looks so amazingly good. What's some of your favorite cuisine? What are your favorite dishes?
I've been really what nationality are you, by the way? What
Korean,
European?
Korean
Okay.
American. Yeah.
So like one of my
Oh wait, can I just say shout out to Quarters in LA, downtown LA. Quarters has like the most amazing Korean barbecue I've had, even better than in Korea. I mean, it's
nice
just amazing.
quarters. I'm gonna have to check that
Yeah.
out.
Oh my gosh, so good. But go ahead.
So some of my favorite meals, I mean, I'm a steak and potatoes guy. I like my ribeye, medium
Mm,
rare. As far as meals that I get around here, I love this. I love getting camarones a la diabla. We got really good Mexican food out
ooh,
here. So that's like spicy shrimp. Um, and then I like getting. I've been on a spicy fix lately, so I also like was that Szechuan food. I've been
yeah.
eating that lately. Bombo, or was it Bombo Hue? Vietnamese pho, but then the spicy one. That's
Oh,
yeah, that's
oh.
kind of my vibe right there. And of course, like there's like all the amazing Filipino food that's out here. You know what I mean? Garlic rice, throw an egg on it, and,
Mm-hmm.
your choice of meat, delicious. Soul food, food for the soul.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, so that spicy shrimp, the Diabla, that's not something you get at Chili's or Tex-Mex.
No,
Like
no,
that
no.
is like straight, authentic, like Mexican
Exactly.
food.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. Yeah, you can't have a Filipino person cooking that. That's got to be straight from the origins. You know what I mean?
absolutely, like a grandma, like a nonna, like in Italian.
Abuelita, abuelo, abuelita.
Abuelita, yeah, abuela. Oh my goodness. Um, I that might be where we end because I want to be mindful of your time. This is the shortest interview I've done, which is crazy because we're already at 55 minutes, but I'm getting better. I'm getting quicker, I think. But I want to say thank you so much for your time. I feel like I learned a lot from how to stream on whatnot. If I ever decide to do that again, but just more of like, there is an and a science to, like you said, with the accounting and the bookkeeping. Like,
Yeah.
there is a lot of skills to learn. You are not built overnight. You had
Mm,
to put in the reps, the hours, the vlogs every day to get better as a content creator. You had to deal with like streams early on and taking losses, like you said, to get to where you are. So when people jump into your room, Keane's room on whatnot in 2023, they're seeing someone who's put in the reps, the
mm,
hours.
mm.
And so I gotta say, like, kudos to you, my brother. Like, you are just crushing it. And really, like, I may not see you in national, but really, I hope to see you in the future someday soon. So any final words you wanted to say?
No, I want to say that you're a fantastic interviewer. This has been very fun. Thank you so much for having me. This is great.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I guess I really don't have a good way to close my podcast, but I will say goodbye in both American. We will not play the any national anthems, but I am going to say to my one German listener, Auf Wiedersehen, which
Mm.
is goodbye in German. So could you just give us one Auf Wiedersehen for our German listener here?
Is it Auf Wiedersehen or Auf Wiedersehen?
Oh man, you are like bringing it. I think it's the former. I think it's Sehen at the end. Auf Wiedersehen, like
Auf
Auf
Wiedersehen.
Wiedersehen.
Auf
Yeah.
Wiedersehen. I like it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Keane. You have a wonderful rest of your day.
You as well. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.